Mr. Gopal, would you please do the opening prayer?
Lord, we're meeting here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Let us also pray for the Quasarano family. Lord, embrace them with your loving arms as they enter into your kingdom. We ask you give strength to the surviving family members, friends, and community who mourn this loss. And finally, please give peace to the police, fire, medical personnel, and to all who responded and assisted in any way with this tragedy. Lord, we humbly pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well prayed, Mr. Gopal.
Yes,
Yeah, he always
job,
does
Mr.
a good
Gopal.
job.
he does. He does a real good Sean too. Yeah. Roll call, please.
Lorraine,
Here.
Shoemaker, Mathis,
Here.
Kruger's present, Kessler,
Here.
Gopal,
Here.
Tucker.
Present.
You have full board.
To the members of the audience, this program is being televised on channel 191, and you'll see the cameras here up in the four corners. You're welcome to come up to the podium and speak. You can give your name, but you don't have to give your address. Now, if you want to be able to see this meeting, it'll start on Thursday of this week. Starts like 8 in the morning, noon, 4, and it goes on for the next 2 weeks. Sometimes you'll turn it on and it might be a basketball game or something from the school, but you will be able to see yourself or what's going on in the meeting for the next 2 weeks. Approval of tonight's agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? If not, a motion is in order to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
In the audience is Lindsay Younger, and she is from FIRE, and she's going to give a presentation in regards to what FIRE is all about.
I think we all voted in favor of it.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any further discussion? Aye, go ahead.
Are you all set? Okay.
Yes, we're all set,
Thank you
Lindsay.
very much for giving me this time during your busy schedule. I really appreciate it. FAR, Fenton Area Resources and Referral Network, is up and running strongly again. The store is closed, as you all know, but we are still serving the people of Fenton, Lake Fenton, and Linden community school districts. We have some financial assistance to help people with, but more than that, we try really hard to help people with suggestions for maybe job hunting or job training, or maybe some substance abuse counseling, or just counseling in general, just helping people with other ways to make their lives better, to improve lives and make things easier for them and for their families. So I have given you all cards with the telephone number 750-6244. Please don't hesitate to use that, share them. I have more, lots more, and I gave you also my card.
Yep.
So we are here to help. We have an office now up in the, what everybody calls it, the glass building, I guess.
Okay.
I'm learning that. The green glass building up on North Fenton Road, kind of kitty corner from Sagebrush Cantina. So we have a small office, and clients often meet me there, and I do my best to help people. And because of the work that I did in Flint and throughout Genesee County, I have lots of contacts, so I can make a personal contact to somebody if that's okay. With, we try to guard people's privacy and confidentiality, but if they give me permission, then I can call people and get a, kind of a connection for folks so that they can get assistance when they need it in the ways that they need it. So.
Well, this is good you did come, because I did not know that you do all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Before, when fire was started, Nancy Stockham, and Nancy would bring different clothes and different things for
Right.
people, furniture and things, but I don't think they went into this.
Right.
Maybe 4 years ago, middle of winter, we had a young mother walk in, with 3 little children, maybe it was 4, living in a tent out in deep, deep snow. Children didn't have coats, no boots, nothing, and they were starved. And the employees then took all their lunches and got together and fed the little children. Well, then we had to get community service to come in and all that. And then we started going and calling churches and things to see if we could get any help that way also.
Right.
But now we have a source.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's so important.
That's
because
exactly what
when we
we're
called
there
county, they did come out.
for.
And then finally they took the whole family.
Right.
But we really needed help fast
Right.
for that.
I neglected to say too, thank you, Bonnie, for reminding me. We are partnering with the churches, several of the churches in the Fenton
Good.
area, and with the Linden Ministerial Association as well. So, and the way that we do that is sometimes it's just easier for the churches to help a parishioner. That's fine, a congregation member. But sometimes they don't have enough money, and so we sort of put the funds together
Perfect.
to kind of make a package for people.
Perfect.
So, yeah. So if there are any,
I'm glad to see it
Thank
still
you.
exist.
thank you.
And Nancy
Appreciate
would be too.
Yes, I
Very,
think
very
so
happy.
too. Yeah, yeah. She
And I
was a
think you all,
great lady.
yeah, Nancy Stockham's house was on Adelaide, and it was a little white ranch house. And every time you drive by, the garage door was always open, and it just had nothing but bags of clothes and just furniture, everything. I mean, she'd open the door for anybody.
Right.
And she did a wonderful job.
She did. Yeah.
So, but now you're not in the building at all then?
No,
Does
no.
the city own that building?
We sold it to the folks who own the laundry.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So,
right.
and I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. So
Not a bakery probably, but maybe
I don't
something
think it's
else.
going to be a bakery.
No.
No, no.
All right. Are there any questions from
Yeah.
the board
Any
members?
questions?
Any questions from the public? Thank
All
you
right.
very
Well,
much.
thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to scoot out. You have a great meeting.
Okay. All right. Included in the packet are the meeting minutes for February 8th, our regular meeting, and February 16th, our special meeting. Are there any requested revisions to the meeting minutes?
I sent Tom a small typographical correction that I think he's already made.
In regards to the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was count instead of county, which needed a Y.
Spell check
Good,
didn't catch
good.
it.
Yeah, spell check will not catch that.
You think that it would though, but it doesn't. All right. Any other
The editor did.
revisions?
Did not catch that. The editor missed it.
All right. The meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Expenditures. Are there any questions regarding any of the invoices? I see that our car is here. It's at car dealership right now. Canterbury. Is it Canterbury?
I think it's Canterbury.
Was it Canterbury?
It was
Okay.
Vic Danvers.
And then it'll be sent to have all the other things put on it the end of this week, I believe.
Sweet.
Yes, absolutely.
So we won't know him when we see him now, coming down the road.
Are there any other questions in regards to this? We did have some sewer problems with no power in that, well, definitely was this weekend, but, and you can see Rob Cook, there was emergency calls in regards to getting generators and getting pump stations, and propellers broke down, and I mean, there was a lot of different things that happened. You never know with this type of weather. You think we have nice warm weather, but then the wind comes, and we have cold weather, and it's just, sewer systems are very difficult to maintain. I'm just looking to see if is there any other things that any of you can pull up. Oh, Tom, one other thing, USA Blue Book. Was that Julie Lewis, is that what she was talking, the Blue Book?
No,
Or
that-
Blue
that's-
Book is a
that's-
whole different
that's
thing?
International Code Council.
Who was that for?
Let's see.
US Blue Book. Usually Blue Book is different businesses that are registered in them.
It's actually some parts they order. It's the name is kind of misleading.
Oh, it isn't a book.
It's nothing to do with. I didn't get the invoices from Debbie. It was some sort of parts and materials for sewer. It was
Okay,
has
got it.
nothing to do with the book.
All right. Okay. All right, a motion is in order to approve the expenditures totaling $906,933.35. Do I have a motion? Any further discussion? Roll call.
I vote yes. Mathis?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Shoemaker?
Yes.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public hearings, none reports. Are there any committee reports to be made to the board? Do you want to, on this one, schedule or try to?
Let's talk about, I mean, we're moving along quick enough. We
We'll
might
do it at
a
the very end.
Special meeting afterwards, or a workshop after we're done here.
Not posted.
Not
Not
posted.
posted.
Can't do it, yeah.
Curses.
Just do it. I mean, during the open meeting.
You could amend the agenda.
Yeah, I kept my mouth shut when that opportunity came along. I wasn't sure. I'd rather try and do a workshop on it.
I think so. Get all the both boards in. Bring the third board in too, we could do that.
Yeah,
You know,
this
there
is
might,
policy
this would be a
thing,
good
though.
thing.
I think we need to start with us. We want to bring those in when you're done, hearing what I have to say, then that's fine. But I think we'll have to do the heavy lifting on this.
All right. Communications, LAFF pathway update. In your packet is a letter describing what this is all about. And Tom Broker, would you like to explain this, please?
Well, it's a memo from Vic Lukasavitz, just an update. Apparently, the group is asking Southern Lakes Parks and Rec to be the signing agent for the Silver Lake Road Corridor Pathway Project, which is the first phase of the big pathway network that is envisioned for the Linden, Fenton Township and Argentine area. So it's really just an update on where they are with the project, and they'll be providing more information as it becomes available.
Now, why would they want Silver Lakes doing it? The Silver Lakes Park Rec?
Southern Lakes.
Yeah.
Once you
I'll
answer that,
find out for
Sean.
you Thursday, how's that sound?
Because see, it's already saying that you are the signing.
Well,
There has been no
To
vote,
become.
nothing sent to board members of Southern Lakes on this issue, so.
Really?
I attended a meeting and the old phrase, they've assumed something definitely fits this. There's no see, you got me on my high horse and I was gonna step.
But I
There's
mean,
no benefit for Fenton Township until 2020 or 2021. But it turns out that the residents of Fenton Township outnumbered those in Fenton, Linden, and now Argentine. And if there's monies needed, well, you can answer that question.
yeah.
Say it ain't so, my little green bro.
So are you, either one of you going to be at that meeting?
Yes.
Okay. So you can just go ahead and give us, come back and give us a report on it? Good. Because it did, when I read it, I thought, we really haven't made any commitments to my knowledge. Nothing.
This board did sign a resolution
Yes, we did that.
supporting it, and
For-
ironically, it was a 6-to-1 vote. I wonder who the one was. But they will point that out to you, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, well,
Good.
is there any other discussion, gentlemen, in regards to this? All right. Adoption of ordinances, none. Unfinished business, none. Now, we have new business, and you have the diagram in front of you. And this is a request for lot depth to width ratio variance. This is partial 0602 400-034. This is Wiggins Road. The owner of the vacant parcel on Wiggins Road has made an application to divide the property into 4 parcels. The proposed land division complies with all township ordinance except depth to width ratio. A variance is required from the township board to allow the division of requests. I just have a comment. When it says ordinance except for depth to width, is it because the width needs to be 100 feet instead of 80?
No, it's the ratio of the width to the depth.
But does it, when we were
seems-
doing that 100-foot frontage, that doesn't comply to this? Remember, we were doing new,
That's just riparian.
I don't know.
I thought we were
No,
also talking about
this is
lakefront.
not on water.
This
No.
is not
Yeah,
water.
I know, but
no,
the 100-foot
he-
requirement,
100
I
foot
think,
was
Was
on
on
water.
is just
riparian?
on water.
Okay.
I
Yes,
think.
just on water, it is.
All right. So is the applicant here? Would you like to come up and speak and tell us what you're planning on doing? Or we do have your letter?
Yeah, that's all reverse is obviously going to line. Just the parcel, just got ratios on, you know, for around 80 feet of minimum frontage.
The what?
80 feet is the minimum
Frontage
frontage.
is 80 feet, which is what's required.
Is required.
The depth is obviously deeper than 80 feet times 5. It's normal 5-to-1 ratio, as I was told.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do 3 without a variance, is that, if I'm doing my math right? 100-foot frontage would give you 500 feet.
No, he's going to do 2.
You could get 2. Okay.
2.
So
If my
it
math's
definitely
correct.
needs a variance, yes.
Why is this here, Tom? I've asked this question before, and is that just the way the ordinance is
When the
written?
land division ordinance was drafted, the authority to grant the depth ratio variances was given to the township board.
I probably said this before, so excuse my redundancy, but this is really better situated in front of the ZBA.
I agree.
This,
I don't even,
We can initiate an
this
amendment to the ordinance.
this did come to the ZBA. And I'm
Originally.
sitting here trying to remember what we did. Do you remember, Mr. Marco?
Yes, I think I remember. The original proposal from the landowner was to have 3 lots, 80 foot wide, and then 1 lot that was going to end up being 65 or 67 feet wide. All right?
Okay, and they made it all 80 now.
80.
Okay.
The concern, once again, from the landowner was what he had on the side of his house that he didn't want to give up, which I understood. But the fact of the matter is, the board went back and said, no, you need to take a look at this another way. And at that time, we felt we had an agreement. Because if we went to 80-foot frontages, it wasn't a variance issue anymore.
is that going to be compliant setback?
Okay.
The way it's drawn, no.
Is there any board discussion?
That's, I was going to
There's
say, I don't know if
there's an
that's,
encroachment, but if you look at the survey, it looks like they've addressed at least the
Right here.
easterly encroachment. It looks like they might have deeded some property, because if you look here, Vince, there's now a notch up here where, you see that?
but even
encroachment
this,
over there?
even this is
Just come
probably,
closer apart.
that needs to be 8 feet. Again.
I don't know how
Just-
diddly accurate that is,
Gallagher's.
but yeah, no, you're right. Those optomic overlays, I don't think they're designed with the level of precision that you're asking.
Here's my problem. I don't feel comfortable voting on something like this without it going through the ZBA or going through.
It
already
it did come through the ZBA. The ZBA reviewed it and didn't like it when the farthest one, as you're looking on the left or to the west,
Yeah.
I want to say was 62 feet, 66 and a half feet. And during discussion, they agreed to make all the front footage the same, which was 80 feet. But in a land division, even though we we all agreed on that, it's got to come back to the full board. So the ZBA functioned and through our discussion and an agreement that they were all equal parcels. As
I
far
can
as
see
the
that.
road
The road.
frontage. You gave up, what, 18 feet, something like that, of
13 more to make it 80.
13 more
13 and a half, whatever.
that they had already used as part of their lawn. So they gave that up so they could
Okay.
do the land division.
Does anybody know the width of that? Well, Bob calls it westerly, but I'm questioning the direction of the north arrow on the survey. I don't think that could possibly be north in that direction.
West would be more towards my house, if you want to be on northwest.
Yeah, his house,
Is right there.
their house is in this wedge.
Oh, that's his house?
Yeah, that's
That
the,
80-foot lot is?
no,
The 162?
the, here again, it's the one, as you're
To
looking at
the farthest
it-
left?
Can I show you?
Yeah, come on. We're
Are
all
they farthest
looking at
left
different
with
things.
162 linear feet of frontage?
This one or this one?
162?
This is my house, this one we just sold, actually.
Okay. The 80-footer is where his house is at.
Yeah,
Okay, so he's the 80, not the 162.
Correct, 162 was just sold, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
This 336 we're looking at dividing, so originally we were trying to make my yard wider by going about 100 feet with it, but we wouldn't have quite enough. And that's when they wouldn't allow the variance. They said if I went to 80 feet, they would let it go. At the board meeting.
Is that your understanding?
Am I correct? That's what we said, right? And they said I had to come to you first.
So it's already gone to the
The
zoning.
ZBA would not agree to the smaller frontage.
But the ZBA was okay as long as
As
Yes,
it
they were
went
all
to
there were
the
4
80.
equal
Yes.
parcels of 80 linear feet of road
Yes.
frontage.
Do you remember it that way, Mr. Marco?
Yes, I do, but
Okay, so now it is our
Has the
turn
fire
to
chief
make
looked at
a,
this at all?
I'm sorry?
Fire chief looked at this at all?
Do not know that.
I'm a little bit worried about that throat on that fourth lot. It's just a curve. It's not like he's gonna have to be turning around, but, I mean, the
I can
representative.
make adjustments, I don't interrupt, I'm sorry, but I can make adjustments if you want to do something. Fourth lot's probably not going to be built on, to be quite honest. The first one, the second one we're even considering right now, the one I can make adjustments, obviously with the property lines, whatever we want to do. Because even with the new drawing, I'm expanding the back of my property right now a little bit anyway, because my patio back there.
Right. Yeah, we saw the encroachment from the
Yeah.
overhead. We were able to
5+1
see
back.
talk
Because
about.
this actually, if you go back to where you were at, this actual line right now comes directly across.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, all right, so that's
I pushed
proposed,
it back
yeah,
30 or 40 feet
because of,
to keep my property.
well, no, because of this, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, do you know what your, Vince was,
I'm probably
Mr. Lorraine was,
This last lot, I'm really in with it all, to be honest with you.
yeah. Mr. Lorraine was asking about the side yard setback on your, well, I guess south side, is that, I still don't think.
That would be the east side.
East
Okay.
and west, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the setback on your
Do you
east
know what
side?
the setback is between the houses?
Giving you the 4 equal parcels of 80 foot. Where is that going to put your,
Right now, it's only 15 or 20 feet from the house, which is what was required by the,
oh, that's plenty.
yeah. Oh, no, it's
We only
all
need
built-
8.
It's all built within the,
don't step off that step backwards. Is there any other board discussion in regards to it?
But the ZBA had no problem with the agreement about the 80, 80, 80.
So in terms of the length, the width issue, they weren't any real
Yeah.
concerns.
The bigger
about that.
issue was the frontage on the road, on Wiggins Road.
I don't have a problem with it at
Do you
all.
know what that throat is when it angles down? The back, it'd be the back of your house there, it's coming in at an angle before it branches off. You don't know the width of that? It's obviously less than 80 feet.
Or more than, you mean this right here?
the narrowest point.
Yeah, the narrowest point of the road.
Okay, here's 80 here.
Right here.
Oh, right there.
Used to be about 60 maybe, and
Yeah.
then it would just be a driveway at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be a
What is the
driveway.
concern of that?
Well, the fire chief is what I'm thinking about in my head is, whether he's got enough room to maneuver his machinery in and out through a 60-foot. If it's 60, that's why I'm asking the
That's-
question. The turn radius for them is
Yeah, if I
50.
need to push that line over slightly.
I don't think so. I'm just trying, that's why I wanted to know what the number was. If it's actually 60, our minimum radius for a turnaround is 52. So, you know,
You
that
turn around up
shouldn't be
here,
a
though,
problem.
farther up.
But I'm hesitant to say, yes, this is a great plan without I'm looking at it. I guess we could do it conditioned on, we have the right to condition, I don't even know what the ordinance gives us the power to do. Is it just a yes or no, or a yes with conditions?
You could make it subject to approval by the fire chief. I don't think there's a problem with that.
All right, what is the board's wishes on this?
I just have one more question. Looking at this, just for my own personal information, you said that the first two are going to be the first two that are probably sold. Do you feel the homes are going to be up near the road frontage? They're going to be back,
Yeah,
correct?
that's what I wrote in the letter. I mean, obviously, they're pie out in the back. If I were to build, I'd build the very back.
Way in the back.
These are gonna build the first, these are the buyers of the first property.
They
We're
have
building
to,
the very back.
we've already taken a builder out there. They have to be built so far back because there's a power line.
Power line.
So
I was gonna-
they've already assessed the land for that, and it's definitely enough room right there, but they will not be visible from the road.
Okay.
So you're talking about lot number 1, which would be the
like the
westmost
other
lot,
houses on the
correct?
No.
Eastmost lot.
Oh, the eastmost lot. So you're going to build back in the, I don't know exactly what that is.
I think everybody's gonna build in the back where the widening part is. We want your house back there, we think, off the road. with
Sure.
on the property as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Pretty logical.
And there is homes on Wiggins Belt back.
There
Right
was
away.
discussion at the ZBA that the potential of them getting a home right behind their house was probably much lower than the other three as they come from the east.
That's why I asked him, because I hope you understand that you could end up with a house right behind yours and your neighbors that you just sold the house to. I'm for limited government. I think as long as the ZBA has no problem, I'm not going to,
I don't have a problem with
Well,
it at
one
all.
thing we could do, if we wanted to make sure they were built in the back, that could be another, assuming we can do a condition here, is you can,
Well, she said though, the power line, it has to be.
Took the builder out. It has to be, you can see in one of the drawings, the power line is shown, and it has to be so many feet past that power line, which
Yeah.
is quite a ways back.
Okay.
and if
It
I'm,
even goes further back and has a lot to go left.
as to why, I was going to say, because I live on Logan's Road, but also I think that that's going to be a buried, and I think that's why that setback so far. They're talking about burying that, which will be good. You won't have power lines, but again, now you're going to have to move, I think it's 32 feet behind it. So most of, if they do, they'll probably be in the back, so I have no problem.
they priced out what it's gonna take to get utilities back there?
Pardon me?
They want priced what it's gonna take to get utilities back to the
sewer,
building?
yes.
Sewer.
We've priced the sewer.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
You wanna talk about a variance for letting us do a septic over here?
It'll be a short discussion, but we
Yeah,
can
it'll be a
talk
real
about
short one.
Yes, we've priced the sewer.
Yeah, the price of sewer, the leak.
All utilities are going to be
Consumers
pretty.
is gonna be,
Consumers is going to
you're
be,
going 500 feet back, well, 450 anyway.
But you know what, it's worth it as
Oh,
well.
it's a beautiful lot.
That's where I
I mean,
would
I think
go.
you'd be very happy there,
Yeah,
especially if we can get somebody to repave the road.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
We could create a special assessment district. What was the number?
That was going to, no.
all right.
I'm making that up.
I was going
Any
to
more
say.
board discussion? If not, a motion is in order to grant the depth to width ratio variance to permit the requested division of parcel 06, 02, 400, 034 as presented.
So moved.
Upon approval of the fire chief,
Yeah, condition that.
conditional approval.
Conditional approval.
Even though it's 60, we know it's 60 feet?
I would want him to look at it.
All right.
No, it's 80 feet.
Shouldn't be in.
It shouldn't be an issue, but I don't, I'm not the fire
Shouldn't even
chief.
be an issue.
Well, that's not going to be the only ingress either.
It isn't.
Per lot, it would be.
Oh, for her lot, it would be. Or that lot,
So we
the most
want- we
westerly
want
lot.
the
You're talking about the
fire
most
chiefs-
westerly lot,
I don't
correct?
see where we would
Yeah.
have to, but
Yes.
do you want the fire chief to look at
It's
this?
still 60 feet wide.
by what trustee, or treasurer Tucker said.
Fire chief's approval,
That's what
which
I would do,
is gonna be
because I'm not
fine.
the fire chief, and I don't think there's gonna be a problem, because 52 foot is the turn radius, but I would want him to look at it and say, nope, not a problem.
We can do that. So instead of not as presented, as amended.
Correct.
I have a motion, I have a
Do we
second.
have any more public comment, though? I didn't know.
Is there any other public comment?
No, just chilling.
Okay.
I have one question to
Uh-huh.
ask. Based on that conditional approval, they want to get started on the property, what will be the timeframe to find a legal answer for this?
We'll get the fire chief to look at it.
Well, it doesn't affect that lot
Right
that they
away.
purchased on the most easterly side anyway. It only affects the one to the west. Correct? We're not going to hold up
Yeah,
their
the
project
only
because
condition
we condition is on the one
Is
lot.
on the one that's basically behind your house, sir.
Right.
Let's put it this way, we'll get the fire chief to approve it within one day this week. I know we're gonna be having some other things, funerals and that going on, so. But we'll get it, you know, we'll have him tell us yes or no on it. And then,
She knows where he lives.
And if you look at your design, you'll be able to move that line. You can move that line a little bit if that is an issue without, I don't think, well, I don't know if you'd have to come back
I
here or
don't
want
not.
expect there to be a problem, but I just
I
don't
don't-
want to speak for the chief.
No, I understand.
all right, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Shoemaker,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mathis.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, appointment to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals. The appointment for Andy Marco, the Fenton Township Planning Commission created a vacancy on the Zoning Board of Appeals. Former ZBA member Michelle Spears had expressed an interest in being appointed to fill this seat. Michelle served on the Zoning Board of Appeals from 1999 to 2008 and would be a great addition to this board. We did get 2 applications, and the other one was a gentleman that does serve on one other board in the township, and I think I'm asking for Michelle because of the experience she's had on this board. So, any board discussion?
I was thrilled that she was interested, because she used to be the chair.
Yes.
Years of experience
I was
on
going
it.
to say, I researched it. She was the chair.
Yeah. So it's
Any other?
disappointed when she left.
Yeah, she left though because of her job.
Job.
Yeah.
I thought she moved.
All right,
so-
a motion to appoint Michelle K. Spear to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals for the term ending November 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mathis,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Shoemaker.
Yes.
I vote yes also.
Okay. Any board comments on, from any of the board members?
I would like to set up a workshop, if we can, to discuss an item that's come up in front of the planning commission that requires board action. It'll take a little bit of time to discuss the issues and
Mr. Cruz's got a calendar.
strategic.
This is going to be all a board of review this whole week. All right. We're almost done with February though.
You only got a few
How
more.
long would this issue take, John?
I would guess we will spend a couple hours talking about this. Are we back on the regular schedule in March?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
First and third?
First
The,
and third.
14th is the
March
board review?
14th, the board of review that whole week. So
What
we're
about the 28th?
28th. We could do the
The day after Easter will,
Some might
Oh.
not be here.
I won't be here.
It's not spring break, though.
no, I mean, I just thought I'd,
Well, no, I mean, but people might, you're right, people
You
might
might be on
not here.
vacation.
I'll be here.
I'm not going to be here.
Vince is gonna be here?
No.
I'm going with Vince. Because it's
All
gotta
right,
be
does it
warm.
have
It's
to
warm.
be, does it have
Warm
to
and
be a
entertaining.
Monday?
Doesn't have to be. I could do, what about the
We have
22nd?
ZBA
there.
and we can do it the 20.
Wednesday, the 23rd?
Can't do Wednesdays.
All right.
I can't either.
Southern Lakes at 6. Okay, how about
What's the first?
I'm out of
What's
town.
the 7th?
29. The 30th? Oh, no, I'm not out of, yes, I am. The 30th, Wednesday the 30th?
I have a different
Oh, wait a
idea.
minute, let's go back up to the 9th of March.
Yeah, what's wrong with the
Wednesday.
9th?
Wednesdays don't work for me.
Wednesdays don't work.
What's
Okay.
wrong with the 7th?
How about the
We have a
10th?
meeting on the 7th,
We could just do it after the meeting
or before the meeting.
or before the meeting.
That's the
We'd
day
have to
before the
come, it's
election.
going to be a 2-hour at
And
least.
That's the day before the election.
And
We-
that's the problem because what?
Day before the election, yeah. They need to go set
It's not a
up.
problem with me, we'll all be here. We're all gonna vote.
The election's date.
No,
How
it's a
about the
workshop.
10th?
Now you go.
All right, what about
10th would work for me.
10th, Sean?
March 10th, is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here.
I'm gonna be out of town.
you're going to be. See how hard it is to get
Wait till we
a
get to
workshop?
vacation time.
Dear God. Okay, how about, well, I know you don't want to, oh, I got it. No, we
Why
can't
are
do
we-
that. St. Patrick's.
What's going on with the
Why not
7th?
After the meeting on the 21st.
I don't get the 7th.
We could do that and just, we'll try to keep the meeting a little shorter.
Boy, you're talking about doing it before events? Tom's
Yeah.
worried about getting home. They gotta be up like, he and Bob have to be up at the crack of dawn.
I'm talking
On the
to
21st.
21st, that's not an issue.
But on the 7th, we could do it at 5:30.
Do it at 5. and by
You know what, though, the only
sandwiches.
thing about doing it before, then we have to cut it. And I think when we do it after, we're better off in case it goes on a little bit
But if we
longer.
get out of here at 9, I don't wanna get out of here at 11 o'clock.
Oh, we could, though.
No, but we can't, because I don't want to.
I'll make that, I do the agenda, I'll make that agenda short. We'll plan on that, you know, so it would be, you know, like we could get out of here pretty quick.
You're talking the
tonight.
7th now? Or the 21st?
We were talking the
7th.
21st. I couldn't do it to them on the 7th because they do have an election. They got to get to the school late
No,
at
no,
night.
that's fine. I'm just trying to figure, I'm just
The
trying to keep up.
21st.
Well, I won't be here.
What about 21st?
I won't be here.
How about the 29th of February, a week from tonight?
I'm out of state.
So am I.
Where you at? We can go there.
No, you don't want to go where I'm going.
Okay, so,
July is open.
for you,
March
What
1st.
else?
What about
March
Tuesday
1st?
the 1st?
yeah, March 1st? Or the 3rd?
March 1st is
March
fine with
1st
me.
works good.
That's fine.
Tuesday?
I'm not here, but don't hold it up because I'm not
Would
gonna,
you be here on the 3rd?
no.
I wouldn't be here on the 3rd.
All
So
right.
just do it.
Tom, why don't we review all this and then we'll give them an option, you know,
That'd be wonderful.
I think so.
5 options.
because we've done a lot right now and we've said no on them. And the only other one is February.
Later this week, you'd be talking.
Today is the 22nd, Wednesday. What do you have for Thursday?
Oh, I'm out
Oh,
of
you're out of here. Okay. And you can't do it on a Wednesday, right?
And I can't do it on a Thursday.
You can't, oh, God. All right, we're gonna sit down and figure it out.
Tuesdays
Tuesday the
we
1st.
resolve that are generally pretty good days.
Tuesday the 1st.
Bob's
What's wrong
not
with
gonna-
you?
Bob's not gonna be here.
Oh.
Oh, I do need you though, because you're the
Yeah.
sewer committee. We do need you.
Bob, I think you'd be interested in this. anyway.
I know, but it didn't seem to.
What about the 8th?
That's the election.
That's the election.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We could all sit around and discuss.
15th,
Can't, that's board of review every night.
22nd,
ZBA,
29th.
29th. No, I'm out of state.
So am I.
I quit.
Okay,
Different state or the same?
Ohio. Yeah, so,
Well, it's just a little after
Yeah.
8. We could just have a workshop tonight.
Yeah,
no, you gotta post it.
Yeah. Why don't we just
Run up and,
talk about it? To hell with it.
yeah, we could just go ahead.
what was wrong with Monday the 21st?
You know what?
Before the meeting?
A board comment, why don't we just do it right now? But I'm going
Can we do
to
it
open it
now?
up to public comment, so this gentleman doesn't have
I
to,
thought we had
and
to
we'll bring
post
it
it.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, this-
Okay, let's do that.
Well,
We'll do it, he can talk about it right after we open it up. Public comment, sir, would you like to come up to the podium?
Hello everyone. My name is Hassan Ashlav. I'm here today because there's a property located on Thompson Road. I'll be interested in buying it. It's an oil change place with a car wash next to it. I'm an owner. I already own like 3 other places in Livingston County. One in Howell, one Brighton, one in Heartland. And I'm looking to expand my business and like buy it, fix it, take care of it, bring it back up to code, and start working.
And now you've been talking to Tom Broker, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And then I've got another one that wants to do the same. You might have called Tom one day, and then this other person called me the next day, because we thought we were talking to the same person on that. As of right now, we know the development is going in, and the board has talked about this. So, and you've made an offer at one time, didn't you?
Yeah, with the appraised value back in October, and you guys told my letter that you want to wait like a couple of months or something.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
in my eyes, I think we should wait to see what's going to happen on Thompson Road right now.
Okay.
We've got a Dollar General, we've got Miller's
Prices.
Building coming in. The land value will go up as soon as the development starts coming in.
Okay.
But we've got your name. What was your offer, though? I cannot remember.
It was appraised for 260, and I did offer 260.
Okay, and that appraisal is about a year old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a year old.
Yeah.
But Tom's got your name and all your information.
If you bring like another maybe appraiser or anything, like get a new appraise on it and see like how much.
Well,
would
why
worth,
don't we
I'll
do
be
this?
still
Why don't we
interested.
just wait to see this development starting right now? You can see the ground moving and everything.
Okay.
And because we have another development that might be starting on the other side of the expressway. And so I think we need to hold on to it for a little bit longer.
Okay.
But you were the first one, and so you would have the first choice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tucker, is there any other public comment on agenda or non-agenda items? All right, thank you. Mr. Tucker, do you want to bring it up? I mean,
Sure.
it's board comment, so
I'll,
let's do that, because we are not going to find a
Yeah.
date.
Thank you for your evening.
Have a good night.
Thank
Have a good night.
you. Andy, you can stay.
You guys just going to discuss.
That was a good one.
Well, he was
Here.
at the planning commission meeting, so he's kind of up to speed with this already, so.
Yeah, I just, I thought there would be a little discussion that would take place prior to this. I really think you do have to have a session amongst you to talk about the problem.
I think so too. John.
Yeah.
Mr. Tucker has firmly forced into my mind the gravity of the problem, how severe it is, and what needs to be done to deal with it. I do think we're going to end up having a problem with the developer. And it's not that he hasn't been cooperative, but I think there's going to be some push. And you need to discuss how badly you want to push back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Was there subjects in regards at your meaning that there was going to be a push on something?
It's just that there was a tempo and texture of the meeting.
Right.
The meeting was a very positive meeting. I think it was well run by the township, and I think the developer gave us a great deal of insight as to his thoughts on the situation. I think you've got to figure out how far you want to push it.
Workshop?
Workshop? Yeah.
All right.
I really think
Okay.
this is a workshop
It's a
issue.
workshop issue, and I'm not sure that
Yeah.
I should be here.
Well,
You can be here for the
workshops
workshop.
are open,
It's
Andy.
open, Andy. You
Yeah,
can sit here.
I'd like you to be there.
That's all right. I'm sure that you will develop a proper answer for dealing with poop. Especially with Kruger sitting on the board.
He's our expert on the matter.
Rob, you're always taking, you know what, I'm telling you.
He's taking the crowd.
So,
Yeah.
enjoy your evening.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you. Have a good
Marco.
night.
You do the same?
Thanks, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Drive slow on the way home. Real slow.
We got a good group.
I know the sheriff too, Bob.
He's a good man. Oh, we can take the microphone. So, Huh? No, I'm putting it on board comment.
So is it still open?
Yeah, it's still, the
So-
meeting's still open.
All right, well, let me just tell you what the issue is without diving into what it is. You know, the solutions to the problem.
Are we still on?
Yeah.
The meeting's still going, we're
Yep.
still on. Okay.
We haven't adjourned the meeting.
Yeah.
No, I haven't adjourned it.
I thought, Bonnie, you said
So
we had
we're
to
still
post this.
recording.
Tom said
We
had
have to,
post
if
it.
it's a.
Well, this
if
is
a
part of our regular meeting.
Regular meeting where it says at the very end, board comments.
But would
And
would
Mr.
we have had to amend
If
the
it was a
agenda?
workshop, we
It's
would.
going
have-
under board comment.
Oh, board comment.
Board
But
comments.
it's, everything here is recorded.
So
It's gonna just
that's
make us
fine.
aware
What
of
I'll
it.
do is just give you, lay the framework,
Okay.
so you'll know what we're gonna meet about at a workshop, and maybe start thinking about options and solutions at the time. This has to do with Vincennia Gardens, which is along Owen Road. Down there, they do memory care. They have two very beautiful structures down there. They're in the process of expanding to their third building.
Jenny was right.
Since the first two buildings have gone in, we've had an inordinate amount of flushable wipes and other things in our sewer system. Okay? We've been working with them, trying to resolve it for a substantial period of time. It's now to the point where the cook is going out twice a week. We have a wire trap set up and trap them before they hit the pump stations, which are about 3/4 of a mile away. We're taking out something less than 5 gallons twice a week. And it's costing us about $3,000 a month to do this. Okay? So, the reason it's in front of the planning commission is there's a third building they want final site plan approval for, which we gave them, conditioned on coming up with an agreement with the township to deal with this issue. Alan Lawrence has met with the applicant. They've gone through, the problem is a very well-known, well-recognized problem throughout the nation. We know it because we have more lift stations than darn near anybody. We have the same problem with grease. We have, you know, these flushables from this type of business are costing us a boatload of money. So the issue,
With the business?
I'm sorry?
Do we know where it's coming from?
Yes,
Yeah.
Vincennia Gardens.
Vincennia.
It's this line that we are trapping them in. The only thing on the line are these businesses. So we know where it's coming from.
All right.
Okay, not any issue about that. The problem is well known. Nobody's got a good solution. There isn't. You know, a lot of times you run into issues like this. They come up with notions that get adopted. This is right at the forefront. And essentially what the proposal is at this point, as designed by Lawrence Engineering, is really just a septic system built into our main line that these are tied into. And it's just designed to hold these things, and you clean it out eventually, or they biodegrade. Nobody really knows because they don't know how long all this takes. The problem is they want to put it on our main because they can do one instead of three. And that's part of our system, and I'm worried about liability if it backs up. I'm worried about liability if the design doesn't work. And I've told them that they're gonna, you know, before I would approve it in the main, they're gonna have to do releases for all that. Well, they don't want to do that. They have offered to pay for the construction of the device, but they're adamantly opposed to paying for the maintenance on an ongoing basis.
So they don't want to cover the $3,000 every 2 weeks.
Right. And hopefully,
But it wouldn't be-
once the structure goes into place,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing 5-gallon buckets. You know, it would be less intensive of a cost. Nobody knows what the number is. But the basic argument, so there's final site plan approval, conditioned on coming up with a deal how to deal with this. All right, so we're gonna need to figure out what that deal's gonna look like, and those issues are gonna come up. Who's gonna pay for the construction, who's gonna pay for the maintenance? A corollary issue that you can think about before we sit down and do this is their position is, I paid a boatload of money to tap into the system. I'm not doing anything illegal. These things say they're flushable.
And
Okay?
the packages, they
Yeah.
do.
Flushable and
So-
disposable.
I think part of this discussion is we have to consider a police powers ordinance that says no grease, no flushable lakes. We'll have a very limited wait list of things that you can flush into our system.
And if they're found in violation?
Then we have the ability to charge back the cost of remediation and add it to the tax bill. There's got to be an enforcement mechanism, and from that standpoint, the issue is broader than this particular development. Because we have it with restaurants, we have it in areas that we just can't figure out.
Thompson Road
Yeah.
is like huge.
We may well build one of these on Thompson Road just because we can't figure out
We
where it's
can't
coming
figure out,
from.
yeah, where it's coming
Well,
from.
but John, keep in mind too, that when we looked at the Thompson Road some time ago, without naming people, there was someone that was going through intensive medical care at home. And these were the type of bed pads, rags, whatever you want to call them.
We get mop heads in the
Yeah.
sewer system. I have no idea how they get
How do you
them.
get a mop head
I
in?
have no idea. So-
But it's
Our
cost
pump station
us,
on Leary Road.
Does the technology exist
The what?
that we could actually put the trap on their property?
Yes.
Wait,
That's your total solution, because number one, it's their responsibility then to clean out the trap themselves. Just like McDonald's has to dispose of their own oil,
Yeah.
and they have facilities to do that, storage containers to do that. So to me, putting it somewhere and putting it in a septic system or something like that, and you talk about liability, John, that would scare me to death. And the taxpayers, I mean, I wouldn't go for that. But if you could put the system on their own property and force them to handle then we could do that with any, that would be your solution, because you can't go to a resident and say, well, you're using disposables, how are you gonna know it's theirs?
Well,
We
actually, you
did on
can,
Margaret
but
Drive.
you
We
could trap it
pinpointed-
We've done
at
that.
the leads.
We found
Yeah,
like
we can
five.
catch them, but to your point, that was one of the things we talked about. The issues are a couple. It's very difficult from a geographic standpoint to get 3 systems on each of their parcels, because they have 3 leads coming in. It requires you to build 3 of these things, which triples the cost of building it, okay? So the applicant doesn't want that solution because it costs them 3 times as much to build it, but he also doesn't want to waive liability and pay for the ongoing maintenance of a common one that, because of the geography, has to be in our main.
I think we
Is this enough info we need?
That's what I think you
Stop
need
here for the
to
workshop?
start chewing at. So what are the terms and conditions of an agreement with the applicant to deal with the existing problem so they can start phase 3? And I think we seriously need to consider a police powers ordinance about what can be put into our sewer system.
And
Because
the-
we can have this argument with anybody that's doing this, hey, I'm not doing anything illegal. There's nothing illegal about flushing grease into your system.
No.
So I think we need to
Just one
think
other
about it.
question though. Did Mr., I won't say his name, state that he has this product in some of his other developments?
No, what he said is they have an alternate design for the entrapment device. It has a grinder in it
Okay.
that they're putting in somewhere else. Lawrence looked at their design, thought it was destined for failure in the sense the grinder will, they grind a lot of things, but if you get a small pebble in the wrong place, then you're done. So there is no certain answer with this. What we do will probably be looked at by other places once we find out whether it does or doesn't work. But in the meantime, and I'll tell you, I guess one more thing before I get off on it, I will probably recommend that we construct this device as soon as we can, irrespective of the deal with this person, because we're spending more. It costs
You're
about
right.
12 grand to build this thing. I'm spending that in 3 or 4 months. So it might be smart to just get it in the ground anyway.
I agree, because
And
we know
then-
the work, John.
and this issue can also, and has, caused a lot of backups in the line because it goes down to Owen Road
And takes out the lift.
and takes out the lift stations. We've even put some very expensive pumps with heavy-duty grinders and impellers on them. And it still, because part of the problem is, if a rag goes down in the sewer, it could get, pardon me, hung up okay? And then another one hangs up and the buildup. And then if we have
Big rain.
a big rain or a big thaw,
Thaw.
it's that force of water takes a very big, heavy ball down into the pump and ruins a $30,000 pump.
Well, and they're not supposed to be affected by rainfall, that's inflow.
Well, yeah.
It seems to me we're not fixing the problem.
All right, what,
Yes.
yeah, but
Nothing's-
what we'll do also, we'll have a workshop, but I'll bring Lawrence Engineering in here and explain what the system is and why we're putting it next to the main, connecting it to the main. So we'll get all those questions ready for you, you know, so it'll give you answers. He'll be able to be here at the meeting.
But no matter, outside of what John's talking about, it's not gonna, we're still not talking about a solution. The solution is to eliminate the so-called disposable, flushable wipes. And as an attorney, to me, would we look to the manufacturer? I mean, if we're one township that's spending $100,000 a year, can you imagine what's happening across the state and across the country? And if I'm manufacturing a product that contains phosphor, that contains mercury, and I sell it to someone and they start throwing it in the garbage, and we find out our landfills are full of mercury, who did the court say was liable? Was the lamp manufacturer that was creating the lamp that was putting the mercury in the tube and not telling people how to dispose of them properly. So if they're actually advertising that they're disposable, I'm only saying that no matter what, I'm not going to spend a couple $100,000 of this township's money when maybe we should talk about a long-term solution is maybe disseminating information to people that are using these, because I think everybody's using them. You ever went down to, you'll go by and I mean, there's a section in the grocery store that's probably 8 feet by 8 feet, and that's all they are.
Well, the applicant actually said, why don't you do that? Well, I don't have the power sitting in Fenton Township to control every manufacturer of disposable wipes here. I don't have the resources to sue them all. I mean, I'm not saying that we couldn't. We would spend far more on a product liability lawsuit than we would $10,000, $12,000 to do the septic system that we have. I'm not saying that they're not a bane to humanity, because they are, but until that happens that's probably a national level sort of thing, not.
But that's also why if the corporate entity realizes it's a problem, then why don't they just eliminate them from their complex?
Oh, they've got a rule.
Oh, but there's so
There's
many,
a rule
it
that says
isn't
you
just
can't.
them though, it's many other things that are coming, and we call them rags or whatever, but it's coming from this type of a building.
And people are flushing them down their
You said
toilet.
what, John? There's a rule that says they can?
Yeah, they have a rule that says
That
they
they
can't
can't do
have, see, what they rent, they essentially rent rooms out to elderly folks with issues.
Dementia.
And they have a rule in their things that you can't do
Well,
it.
I've done this since 12 years ago. I look at every situation, whether it's a benefit or burden to the township as a whole,
It's a burden right now.
then,
And we're
Yeah,
trying
and we want to do a benefit.
but it's not been approved yet, so I mean,
Right.
if I
But
think
now,
it's-
the system that they're talking about too, I mean, it's a septic tank, it's like a septic tank, but it also has a level of filtration, and it also has a grate going into it. So what this grate would do is stop the liquids and semi-solids would go through, and the grate would stop the bigger,
There's no grades.
well, I saw one thing that showed.
They've taken them out. They're worried that those are gonna get plugged.
Plugged.
But
It's
then
just,
that's maintenance to clean it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can get into it, but they just got inverted pipes at 2 levels that nobody even knows if the stuff floats or sinks. So they're putting the inverted pipe levels to get high and low, to
That
keep,
would be your
kind of
septic,
in the
yeah.
middle of where they wouldn't be, where we think. But, I asked Melissa, I said, well, isn't it possible they float for a while and then they absorb moisture and they sink, so they're gonna pass through this area? And, that's certainly, nobody knows. There isn't a good solution yet.
But it's something that, it's
It's a
a
problem.
serious problem. We
So-
You've
gotta
been
do
fighting it
so
for 3 years.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna say is the meeting's adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you do that, did I hear that gentleman correctly, that we got offered $260 for the oil change place that didn't come to the board?
No, I don't.
Did he say
Yes,
260?
he offered what, yes, that's what,
Okay, I just want to clarify, because I'm sorry, that's a lot of friggin' money for that.
Is that land included or just the oil change
That
place?
was the land and the oil change, just one piece, right? Am I correct?
I didn't get the
We
bid,
sell- we're
Tom,
selling
what was
this
it?
one.
Just the-
260 for the two combined.
Yeah, it's exactly what it appraised for.
I'm just gonna say this, and maybe I'm off base, but I think every offer on any property we have should be brought to this board, let alone a 260 offer, because that's a lot of money for that property, you know, and especially with it being an oil change place.
well,
I
he even
feel-
stated that he'd be willing to pay for his own appraisal, and if it came in higher, he's willing to pay whatever the appraisal is.
We don't want to take a potential purchaser's appraisal, that's.
No.
Well, no, we can have our own. I'm just saying that if we had one.
Ours at the 260, and I'm just wondering why it didn't come to the board. I think it should have at that kind, that's, number one, that's not an insult number. When it's appraisal number, you know, that's, you know, we could negotiate from there if we had to. That's quite a bit.
If somebody's willing to pay the
Okay.
appraisal, they'll pay over the
260s
appraisal.
All right, we've got his name. We can, now that you know,
Don't worry, I
Bring
prefer
it
something
up.
that's not an oil change place there. I'm with everybody on that, but
Yeah.
the fact is, I think it should have come in front of the board at 260. At a full price offer.
Did it not? I don't,
Yeah,
we've had several.
I thought we talked about
I
it.
thought we did, but
I thought
We
did too.
discussed
There's been
we'd
several
hold the
offers.
property.
I know I never
I know
saw
we
two,
did.
I know I never saw full board appraisal. I saw 159. I saw Off-Road Outfitters give us one that was quite a bit lower, but I never, and that was 2 years ago. So,
I would
Okay.
also like to entertain the idea of seeing what a separate appraisal for just the oil change place.
we
would
have
be.
that. We have both.
Okay, because again, with everything coming on Thompson Road, I think water's coming to the industrial part of Thompson Road, and that lot to the east, it's ours now, and we will eventually possibly need a water tower.
You've mentioned that, yes.
I will, yep.
And I agree.
I don't
I
know that
agree
I'm
on
for
that.
selling them both at the same time.
But we can't charge much for the,
Yeah, that's the problem. How we got the property, we're allowed to, we have
only
unrestricted
charge what
use
we spent, yeah.
of
No,
the
no,
proceeds
he's
from
saying-
one.
No.
No.
He said use it.
he
He's
said
saying
never
use
sell
it.
it, keep
The
it
one
just
to
in
the
case we
east.
ever
For a
need it.
water
for
tower.
Yeah, but you're not getting it. The one that we have the restrictions on, in terms of the use of the funds, is the oil change.
No, it's the other way around.
No,
The lot.
the
Other way around.
vacant land is the restricted.
Yeah, oil change we got back through reversion.
Oh, so,
So that one's, there's no string.
oh, so then that's okay then. That's
Yeah,
not an
if
issue.
we want to sell just that, yes. The reason we were putting them together is there are restrictions on the vacant lot. But
Yeah.
if the
But
idea
if-
is we're going
yeah.
to keep the vacant lot, then it's not an issue.
Okay.
Just, it's coming, I mean, you know.
It's coming, and we just might need the water.
I don't know.
We've waited this long, cleaning it up a little bit.
Cheapest lot we'll ever get on Thompson Road.
Huh?
Cheapest lot we'll ever get on Thompson Road that we already own.
Absolutely.
Afford the
Absolutely.
taxes too.
You can.
Yeah. All right, so, any other board discussion? The workshop, I don't know when in the world we're gonna be able to figure that one out.
Can we piecemeal it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys know the issues. We can tackle
I mean, we can
what
do
to
a
do with the
workshop,
applicant and
45 minutes
then,
to an hour after.
and
the
then
next
break it up
meeting,
and talk
after
about the
next
ordinance
one,
in a
next
different
one.
meeting. You know, that's
Three
fine.
1 hour.
Can we go back to
addendums
can we go back to
after
that
each
second
meeting.
then?
Might cover it
It's
all.
only gonna take us an hour.
Good. I'm good.
Give us six-
However you want.
You know what I mean, man?
6:30 on the,
Yeah, but I'm thinking we just should hit it all at once.
Well, I agree, but my
But
gosh,
I'm
when are we gonna be
thinking,
able to?
can
We're always
anybody
on
be
Monday
here
nights.
at
no, it'd be the 29th.
5:30 on a Monday night?
I can't.
I don't know
go
about
seven.
Sean.
Monday's free for this.
Isn't it the
Are you
7th?
free?
I don't work Mondays early because that is.
Why can't we just come in at 6:30 on the 7th?
5:30?
Oh, I can do the 5:30 on.
Can you
any
do a
Monday.
5:30?
I can.
Okay, whoops,
On the
Kipster's
7th,
gone.
right?
When?
No, it's because the 8th is the election.
If we run, if we have to shut
we're
it
talking
down, we
before.
can-
We're coming in early, Bonnie, so Tom or nobody else will be here late. We're coming in at 5:30, or even 6. They- it's either
Safety
to an hour and a
set
half.
up as
Yeah, we
11.
can't, well, that's the start. We'll be setting up till 4:30, 5 o'clock.
In the morning.
Because we can't start putting stuff in the room until after school is out. And it takes probably 3 hours plus.
All right, why don't we set And I'll
But-
try to make the board meeting agenda short. Let's set the 5:30 on the 7th, and then I'll get that.
If it's short, then if we haven't completed what we need to after the meeting, we
Yeah,
can
because I'm
stick
gonna
around
have to
after
get
that.
Melissa and Alan
Yeah,
here.
well, I'm hearing Bob say though that we might be going to 6. He's needing time from when school's out until the start of the meeting.
Well,
That's
let's
what-
just set it and I'll try to work it out.
If we set it for 6, that gives us an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's just do that. Set it for 6.
okay.
Bob, are you comfortable with that, though?
No, but let's do it.
Well, here,
I can always-
The reason we're not doing it on the
I can
second is because you're
always-
not gonna be here. And the fact is, we set it up and you're
Hey.
still not gonna be here.
Yeah, we don't want to do
Silly.
that.
Let's do it, I'll make it at 6.
And
I can leave people to finish, so.
and another thing, if we
What, you
don't
have a
finish or
school
we,
board meeting? Is that what it is?
No, I have to set it for the election.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm
let's
gonna
do
make
the
that
6th.
agenda very short, Tom. On the 7th, make it short.
So we're gonna have
So the only reason we come in is to pay the bills.
workshop.
Vote on the bills, and then
Yeah.
I'll make it
well, we'll be
extremely
done
short.
by then, further
We might
along.
be
I
able
mean,
to
that'll
get
help
out of
Tom
here.
and Bob and won't do
Right.
anything for this
Eight.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Or
Let's
you
do
don't
it at
come to the board
6.
meeting.
Do it at 6.
Got it at 6.
6 o'clock.
Let's do one more thing. Until we get it figured out what we're gonna do, why don't we publish a workshop after each board meeting? So if we get done early and we wanna spend an
That's
hour
not a bad
talking
idea.
about
An
it,
hour afterwards, we
then
can
we
do
can
that.
just
too.
bang on it without, because I mean, we do it, well, we are doing
Well,
it tonight, but.
we'll just post it every meeting till we're done.
Right, till we got it solved, then we
So
can
it's the 7th at 6.
take advantage of.
It will also post it on the 21st.
You know what, Tom, Bob, you wouldn't have to be at that board meeting. You know, you and Tom could.
Are we gonna discuss this? The payments? That was also, I thought.
What payments?
I sent that out
about
this
the-
afternoon.
There's a
We
memo
talked
on-
last time about the options for what we do with invoices that come in after the board packet's done.
I haven't read it.
Yeah, I sent it out this afternoon because I did not get a chance to look.
It suffers the same problem as the late payments. Nobody's looked at it.
Okay, well, I just want to ask you one question, and we can adjourn me done, Tom. I don't understand why that you're saying that if any invoice received after the board packet has been created, that would be held until the next township board meeting. Why would it be held to the next township board meeting? Why don't we cut checks like every company I know, you cut checks on every Friday or every other Friday. If we cut checks on Friday, we've got a Monday meeting. If we cut checks on Friday, we should never have a late payment. And we run one check run, and it runs continuous. So every Friday, it would be a cutoff point. Monday, we'd get those list of checks.
Well, if you're talking about approving them after they're already processed and sent out, yeah, we can do that, absolutely. But that, I got the
I
impression that
don't
wasn't
think
the
it is.
preference.
And you don't want to be paying them before you approve them, unless you don't really have an
Right.
option.
No, but he's
But
not
if-
saying that. yeah.
No, but I'm saying if we pay every Friday,
Well, it's-
Yeah, but we don't meet
from the
every.
Friday before the meeting to the Monday meeting, or before, if we're paying every Friday on a consistent date, whether that's 30, whatever you want to run your check runs, as long as it was after that Friday meeting, as long as we were consistent, I don't see why you would ever be
Because
a
the
point.
next Friday, you're going to have a check run that we haven't approved. It's not-
Because we
unless
meet
don't-
every
we meet
other
2
week.
weeks.
Right, but there's never a bill that's gonna be due,
well,
that's gonna be, create a
I'll-
late
I see what-
payment
I'll give
in a
you-
2-week period.
I'll give you an example. We got a bill today in the mail late this afternoon, so it was not in tonight's. It's due March 10th. Our next meeting is the 7th, which means checks would go out ideally the 8th. It might get posted on the 10th.
Okay, but and you're talking about a company that's giving us less than 30 days?
That's
Not 30?
consumers bill.
Consumers power. For our pump station.
So-
They got a late.
We do have
There's
those
gotta
situations.
be a way that we can
Well,
do
we
this,
just,
because I feel funny, I'm very reluctant to vote on something that, when every
Did
time
I-
we come in here,
did I get that
'cause
letter
I
that
trust
he's
Mr.
got?
Tucker.
I just sent it out this
You're
afternoon
looking
by
at these
email.
things
You do
over.
have it. We
I
probably-
got it.
You haven't
Okay.
seen it though.
Okay.
when I
When
get
you
them
get
on
here though, and
Friday,
you have to,
I got time out because there's new stuff. Now, I think we just, he's got some suggested solutions. Let's talk about them when we're
right.
doing our workshop
Our
stuff.
workshop.
Because
Maybe we switch the Friday, like you're saying, the opposite Friday.
I thought the same thing you did. I thought there's no way, because we're constantly getting, from Friday to Monday, we got to approve these. And it's like, there's no way they can, it keeps happening.
Switch the
we
Friday.
can sit there and figure this out in 5 minutes.
Paying the bills.
I mean,
I don't
I
know.
approve
I
bills
don't know.
every other week, and we don't have late payments, so.
But now, if you notice, you didn't have any late ones this time. This Debbie, the new girl.
Yeah,
So I think we're gonna see a huge change in her.
I think I like her.
I do too. I really like her. I think you're gonna see a big improvement. I think sometimes the other
Sometimes
was.
change is good.
Now, he's still, he wasn't recording.
Meeting's not adjourned.
Oh, I said meeting was adjourned.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.